What's up guys, this is Ultimate Device Vids, and today in this video we're going to be doing a speed test comparison between the iPhone 11 Pro and the iPhone XS. We're going to be doing various tests including an app launching test, a Geekbench test, an Antutu benchmark test, a boot test, and a Safari web page loading test. Now before we get started, I just want to tell you guys that you should take this video with somewhat of a grain of salt, as the tasks that we're going to be performing in this video don't necessarily represent how these devices are going to perform in all areas. For example, a boot test doesn't necessarily gauge how a device will perform in all instances. Also keep in mind that there are many varying factors that contribute to how a device will perform. And just to let you guys know, the iPhone XS is on the left, as you can see here, and the iPhone 11 Pro is on the right, and that is the format that's going to be used throughout this entire video. And I also want to show you guys that both of these iPhones are running the latest iOS version as of recording this video, which is iOS 13.0, as you can see right here. But alright guys, without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So let's go ahead and start things off with the boot test. So how this is going to work is, as you can see here, I have a surge protector with the device's respective chargers plugged in, and I'm going to go ahead and plug the devices into the surge protector. Now, the surge protector is currently off, so what we're going to do is we're going to power off both of the iPhones, and then we're going to flip the surge protector to turn it on, which will power the iPhones on at the same time. So again, we're just going to go ahead and power the iPhones off here, and once they're both fully off, again, we're going to go ahead and flip the surge protector to power the iPhones on at the same time. Now, I'm actually not going to cut anything out of this portion of the video. I want you guys to see exactly how long this takes in real time. So you can see there, the iPhone XS actually booted up before the iPhone 11 Pro, interestingly enough. So again, don't hold too much stock in that, but certainly an interesting result. But alright, let's go ahead and move on to the app launching test. So first, as you can see there, there's nothing in the app switchers, and we're going to go ahead and start off with Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Now, I'm going to do my best to launch these apps at the same time, so just bear with me in terms of that. But as you can see here, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas starting up on both of them. We're just going to go ahead and skip this intro screen. Now, the most important thing for Grand Theft Auto San Andreas is starting the game, so we're going to go ahead and do that at the exact same time here. And you can see both pretty much neck and neck here. Just a teeny, minuscule, absolutely minuscule advantage on the iPhone 11 Pro with this intro sequence. You can see it's just a hair ahead, but obviously nothing that you would ever notice in real life, you know, day-to-day interactions. But you can see here both performing this task very well, very smooth on both, as to be expected. They're both incredibly powerful devices. So we're just going to go ahead and skip this intro screen now and get into the actual game. You can see there, again, exactly the same on both. So absolutely nothing to complain about here. Let's go ahead and close out of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, and we'll move on to Asphalt 9. This is another, fairly big application. So launching both of those up here, you can see, again, that same trend, just a minuscule, like, split-second advantage on the iPhone 11 Pro. But again, nothing you'd ever notice. And I'm just going to go ahead and skip a little bit ahead here till I actually get to the play button, because of course, again, that's very important here, actually starting the game at the same time. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And again, you can see here it's loading up on both. And once again, totally neck and neck, totally both doing great. Just a slight teeny advantage on the iPhone 11 Pro. But all right, let's go ahead and close out of this, and we'll move on to the next application, which is going to be Zombie Highway 2. This is a much lighter game, definitely not as processor intensive and everything, but just go ahead and open this guy up here. And you can see literally identical, absolutely no difference between these two. And alright, let's go ahead and hit the play button here to actually get into the game. And once again, absolutely nothing to complain about here. Again, this is a pretty light game, I'd say, compared to the other two we just did, but anyways, let's just go ahead and close out of Zombie Highway 2, and we'll move on to our last game, which is Subway Surfers. This is a big throwback, but also a pretty light game as well. Just thought I'd throw it in here. So as you can see, they're opened up totally great on both. Nothing to complain about. Playing the game, obviously, as you'd expect, totally the same here as well. But all right, let's go ahead and close out of this, and we'll go ahead and move on to some stock applications as well. So let's go ahead and launch up the camera application. Of course, that's important to take a photo quickly. You can see here, in this case, the iPhone XS actually opened up the camera first. Maybe that's because there's more features to load with the new camera features, or maybe that was just total coincidence. Anyways, next up here is Safari. You can see pretty much identical. Nothing there. Here's apple.com. Definitely keep in mind with the web page test that largely depends on your internet connection, but you can see there youtube.com as well. Again, technically first on the iPhone XS, but again, that largely depends on your connection, so don't really hold much stock in that. Here's the App Store, which, once again, App Store largely depends on your internet connection. You see the XS happened to get that one first as well. But all right, let's go ahead and move on to the Geekbench test. This is something you should definitely hold much more stock in. This is a scientific, legitimate test. So let's go ahead and open up CPU, and we'll go ahead and run a benchmark on both. So I'm just going to go ahead and let these run, and I'll come back to you guys with the numbers. And all right, here are the results. So the iPhone 11 Pro has a single core score of 1,334 and a multi-core score of 3,554, while the iPhone XS has a single core score of 1,110 and a multi-core score of 2,878. So again, definitely a noticeable improvement there. Now let's go ahead and run an Antutu benchmark as well. So we'll go ahead and open this up and start the test here. So I'll do the same thing. I'll come back to you guys when it's done with the numbers. And alright guys, here are the final results. And once again, you could definitely see an improvement here in terms of the numbers from the iPhone XS to the iPhone 11 Pro. So guys, in my opinion, I would say it's definitely not necessary to upgrade from the iPhone XS to the iPhone 11 Pro just for the reason of speed. It's always great to see the performance of iPhones getting better every year, but as you can see throughout this video, doing normal tasks, the speed difference from the iPhone XS to the iPhone 11 Pro isn't really going to blow your mind. But alright guys, that pretty much wraps it up for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to this channel for more content. Alright guys, I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace out.